Next, Jeff GORELL.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. It's so nice to see everybody, a lot of familiar faces. I'm Jeff GORELL. I'm running for Supervisor here in Ventura County's 2nd District. I hope you're all ready to make history and you're prepared to do it, because this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity right now to flip the Board of Supervisors from a majority liberal to a majority conservative. And if we don't act, and if we don't go all in on this, we're going to miss this opportunity, and we'll again have a liberal-controlled County Board of Supervisors for another generation. I'm running for office because I love this community, and I've been asked to run for this office by a lot of different people. And I want to tell you a little bit about me. I've been in Ventura County for well over 20 years. I came here and I was a deputy district attorney. Like John Barrick, I put really bad and violent people in California State Prison. I did that for 7.5 years. I served 2nd year on a rape murder capital case of the rape of and murder of Beatrice Bellis, who was killed in Fort Juanita. I then left and started my own small business, and for 4 years I helped regulatory issues for small businesses and agriculture, including Limoneira, including Haas Automation, including some of our local manufacturers here, to try to keep them afloat. I ran for California State Assembly, and I represented all of you and your families for 4 years as a Republican member of the California State Legislature. I served as vice chair of the Budget Committee, and I fought the governor at the time, Jerry Brown, every single step of the way on the budgets that they passed here in the state of California. In fact, standing up on the floor of the State Assembly and calling out one of his budgets that had so much spending in the last few months of the budget to hide it, that I called it the mullet budget, because it looked conservative up front, but it was a party in the back. And that made the front page of the newspapers, but that was my job, to call them out, because we didn't have enough votes to vote them out. I also served in the United States Navy Reserve for 22 years. I'm still in. I just made captain. And I'm a regional commander. I oversee 23 Navy Reserve units, 1,600 sailors in 10 states. Deputy Regional Commander. Thank you. I'm a two-tour veteran of the war in Afghanistan. I'm an intelligence officer, and I served over there for 2 years of my adult life. So all of those things and more, I think, have allowed me historically to attract a wide spectrum of support for my candidacy. Whether it's people that are small businesses and small business owners, and they want somebody with that perspective, whether it's somebody who's tough on crime and appreciates my work as a prosecutor, and also on the Public Safety Committee where I voted for tough bills. They also appreciate the work that I did. I taught at night at Cal Lutheran University for 6.5 years, and have a lot of former students that are running around or are community leaders now here in the Conejo and throughout Ventura County. Or whether it's my service in the state legislature, or they're a veteran like I am. Those things have allowed me to connect with a lot of different voters and to win. I was your last Republican elected for Conejo Valley in a partisan race. No one has won since. Jackie Irwin has now got the state assembly seat, the state senate seat as a Democrat, and a congressional seat as a Democrat. I was your last elected partisan Republican. I had the ability to win. I ran against Julia Brownlee in 2014. That election was so close that they had to fly in President Bill Clinton to campaign against me for the last 3 days of the campaign. Do any of you remember that?
Yep.
It took 2 weeks to find out who won. They counted ballots with lawyers watching every single recount as we watched the ballots being counted. That's how close I came to taking out Julia Brownlee, an incumbent in her own district. I came that close again because of the wide spectrum of voters I'm able to attract and to win. Why am I running? I've served in Homeland Security down in the city of Los Angeles, and most recently for the Port of Los Angeles, doing Homeland Security, counterterrorism. I'm running because I love this community. I live here. I live on the Conejo Mountain. I have a beautiful view of open space and agriculture. My two boys go to Our Lady of Assumption school here locally, and this is home to me. I also am running because they redrew this district. The second district has been redrawn, and I live smack dab in the middle of it now. And I couldn't bear the idea of a Linda Parks selected candidate, Claudia Bill de la Pena, winning and being my supervisor for the next 12 years. I can't sit by and allow even the possibility of that to happen. We can take bold action with the majority Republicans on this board. We can give law enforcement the resources and the tools and the support that they need to keep our communities and our schools safe and not allow the encroachment of gangs and networks that want to rob your house and infiltrate your communities. We can support our small businesses that have been ravaged through COVID and shut down and are just barely trying to keep alive right now. We can support them and the workers that work there, the employees. We can address homelessness with a board that is a majority Republican by taking bold action and bringing the resources that we need to do what we need to do. I'm working with former Supervisor Frank Schillo to identify ways to move forward in bold action, but you're going to need a board that's driven by Republicans. I am proudly endorsed by the Ventura County Republican Party, proudly endorsed by the Ventura County Deputy Sheriff's Association, by your firefighters, former supervisor for this county, the last Republican, Frank Schillo, Republican Supervisor Kelly Long, a long list of Republican electeds. And together we can win this seat. But it's going to take a little bit. I know that there's folks here that maybe, I know that Jennifer's husband is running, and so people feel maybe a little uncomfortable, but you know what? That's what democracy is. Democracy is uncomfortable. It's a competition of ideas. And there are people right now as we speak that are fighting and dying to preserve the kind of liberties and freedoms that make people uncomfortable. Democracy. So let's not do, and so it's okay. It's okay to feel uncomfortable about it. That's what democracy is about. That's what our Constitution is about. I just ask you to unite around the common goal of defeating Claudia Bill de la Pena and getting a board majority Republican. That's all I ask. I ask you to look at my background, my experience, my leadership of representing all of you and your families in the state legislature, and let's make history. Thank you very much for the opportunity.